speaking of unfortunate turn of events, Bakchis talking about taking the supercharger off, being NA, throwing some more nitrous at it, and you could obviously see, I don't see a belt on there, so I believe, yeah, he's going NA with a lot of spray.
Well, I mean, it gives you an idea of the sophistication of the team to be able to make that kind of adjustment, right? To go from, he said, setup A to setup B, and who knows how it's going to perform, but obviously it's different than they intended. Here we go.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. will lead. That Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR ready to rock. Bakchis, our current points leader. Can he hold on to that lead? Initiated into the bank goes Vaughn Gittin Jr. No goggles necessary. It's not wet. You can see smoke is being created. Now coming down into the power alley. Bakchis seems to be hanging on. Yeah, a lot of handbrake pulls as I'm hearing Ryan Lontaine elaborate on this as Vaughn Gittin Jr. comes into that last outside zone, and hey, not too shabby for Bakchis, who's definitely taking a couple hits.
Not too shabby, but I think honestly he's probably at 85%.
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, he would have been door to door on the big bank there and reeling in Vaughn just from what we've seen in the past. But Vaughn is putting down an incredible lead run. You can see is on a shallower line, shallower angle. He has to kind of do that in order to stay in some relative distance to Vaughn Gittin Jr., but Vaughn is really doing almost everything you could possibly want from the lead driver out front to give an opportunity to chase. He's throttling through outside zone 2 and 3, decelling in the right area, back on throttle through this inside clip. is keeping pretty good proximity here, but you can tell he's fighting for this. He really wants to get close, but obviously the car is not 100% clearly, both aesthetically and from what he reported to us during the break. So I think Vaughn's got an advantage here, but you know, could pull this one off if he's able to put down a good lead and force some airs on Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the chase.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how goes out front and how he gets down. And you're right, Ryan, just going, judging versus in previous, St. Louis and even into last year, the chase runs have just become some of the best. I mean, I would say him and Osbo, percentage-wise, just seem to have just the closest proximity and consistency in the chase position. I mean, not taking away anything from other drivers, but, between Osbo and they always seem to just rise to the occasions. But right now, here we go, out front, Vaughn Gittin Jr. This might be a good opportunity for Vaughn to seize the moment and attack as there we go. Look at that, and that's exactly what I would assume he was going to do. Woo! Vaughn Gittin Jr. dancing with the devil being as we bring it into the power alley, exiting out, and Bakchis keeping it consistent, filling those outside zones, but Vaughn Gittin Jr. right there, shoving that chrome nose right next to Bakchis. Unbelievable.
Well, that's pretty typical Vaughn Gittin Jr., classic Vaughn Gittin Jr. that we've known from many, many years of drifting, putting the pressure on as the chase driver against right now the series leader. This is a huge battle for championship implications. And with his teammate Chelsea Denofa going out, Vaughn trying to make up some ground in the championship himself. He's currently sitting right now at 13th place. This is a huge opportunity for him to capture some much needed points in round 3. And he may have been doing just that right here, especially towards the end, really putting the pressure on. So the bank was a great job in mimicking the line and angle and keeping that pressure on. And the duration of proximity here was also pretty consistent. And the judges will certainly lean towards that. If they have to pick duration over surging and backing off, they will take duration all day long. And so Vaughn did a pretty quality job there in the chase position.
Yeah, that was absolutely impressive, and that's exactly what I thought Vaughn Gittin Jr. was going to do. But look, I mean, that was a great shot. Did you see that overhead? Bakchis' car he was crab walking. Here we go, slide him left for Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win, knocking out our points leader, Ryan.